Hello. In this video we're going to look at a few more essential escape codes. Now this is by no means all of them, but it's a few good ones to get started with. What we really want to do is understand the concept of escape codes so that when we come across them in other contexts we can figure that out. There are definitely some specific uses of these that you're going to want to figure out a little later, but we'll talk about that in some future videos. Let's start again by just reminding ourselves what an escape code is. So an escape code is a special character used inside of a string to tell the program to do something special with the character following it. And it's characters because depending on the use there could be a couple characters we use. But in all of our cases a single character. So we're going to look at the following ones. We're going to look at the \t, which is the tab. We'll look at the \n again, which is a new line. We'll talk about the \double quote, the \single quote, and I think those are the ones we'll address in this video. So again, you might in some situations want to print out a table in the console, and to do that we can use a combination of the \t and \n. So what I've done is I've created this variable called table, and I've said put name, and then I put \t, and what that does is that will put a specific amount of space between that name and the next part of the string. It's just like tab when using Microsoft Word or any program, and then \n. And then each row of the table has one \t, so I can have two columns. So if I run this, which I can run again, you'll see it right there, name, and then there's a space age. Notice how all of these, this second column, they all line up nicely. That's because of that \n, \t combination. You could add another, if you wanted, column like this, maybe height, and then I have, so my name is Paul, I am 37, and my height is 188 centimeters. Ziggy, back 99, and they're going to be, I don't know, 150 centimeters. Now if I run this, they line up nicely. This actually, well, I'm going to talk about this now. This is a nice example of string construction. Sometimes it's useful to build a string in a variable first before printing it out. And it might not make a lot of sense right now why that is, but again, this is something I'm going to kind of put in the back of your head to keep in mind, because string construction is really useful when you're collecting some information and building some response, and that you can then put out to the user. And we'll look at some more advanced examples of that later. But I just wanted you to hear that term, string construction. Let's imagine we wanted to print out some famous quote. So in the words of Jean-Luc Picard, it is possible to commit no errors and still lose. That is not a weakness, that is life. So if I run this, there's that line. And I'd like a little space in between there, so I'm just going to print an empty line. We'll run it again. Well, quotes should have quotes around it. And if I just write a straight quote inside of there, it confuses the compiler because the quotes mean something special within that context. So what I do is I put a \/ here, and what that does is it tells it to ignore what the typical use of the next character is and to do something special with it. And that is print that quotation out to the screen, or include it in the string. So I can do this. And by doing that I can print out the double quotes around this lovely quote. If I wanted single quotes, I could put a single quote there instead. And there it is. Finally, and you should be getting the idea right now, I can use an escape code to print out a \/ as well. And that's one more I want to include. So maybe if I wanted to say 3 divided by 4 equals 0.75. Completely useless, I know, but again, you can see I have an error here because this slash is interpreted as an escape code, a \. So if I put 2 there, What that then does is it tells the compiler to stop, look at the next character, and do something special, which in this case is to actually print out a backslash. We'll add them right here. So these are some basic escape codes. Where these escape codes become particularly useful is when you start to want to use ASCII characters or represent special characters on the screen for the user. I hope this video helped, and as always, please feel free to ask any questions.